Hello Internet, I'm Jackie Fox. Today we're going to be doing this live pretty bright and early. You can probably hear the very happy birds chirping in the background. You might also be able to hear the garbage truck, which is kind of what woke me up at this hour and cued me to come in and talk to you about what is going on here. So, this is my first look at a lot of this. If you're curious about some of the other awakenings, I actually covered this batch of units in particular when they came out in JP. It's a bit older, but maybe I'll link to it in the description. I'm not sure why this website always does this, but here we are. Anyways, let's take a look at... Actually, I'm kind of reading the lore here as I'm saying this. It is, yeah, as I think everyone has said, it's kind of strange that daggers aren't included on this vision card for pretty obvious reasons. Also, man, it's cold in the morning. I don't like this. Hold on. I'll be back. Editor Jackie here, just giving a quick TDLW on the characters. Now again, this is going to compare nothing to the description that I would be doing, so watch to the end of the video anyways. But just to get a couple bigger ideas in here that I didn't work into the individual reviews that I'm kind of seeing on summation, but also thinking that people with low attention spans might appreciate being up front, is the fact that, well, for one, Elena and Zazan don't really get any increases to their evasion, which is weird, and it feels like evasion units are really getting neglected. I mean, we saw the lock upgrade that's coming for JP, and the fact that he didn't get guaranteed hit avoid, and that neither of these characters got guaranteed hit avoid, and we're going to have to go into B-tier evasion like farm to have one of our better evasion units with guaranteed hit avoidance is kind of weird. That neither of these super evasive units, when they came out, a big part of their identity, also both incredibly lucky units. I just want to point out that, like, if they had increased luck while courage was in effect for Elena, it would have done an increase in accuracy. It would have done an increase in critical evasion, but most critically, it would have also given her an increase in evasion, and they only would have had to buff one stat, so it seems like if they wanted to give her evasion, they very easily could have, and it feels like they actually worked back from the point of giving her more luck, because she's a luck unit. She has a luck VC, she's fairly accurate, or can at least be built for a lot of accuracy, she's built for a lot of evasion, both of those things off of the back of her luck. For Duane, and again, I'm not really the person to be saying this because I don't have a lot of Duane playing experience, although I am actually considering awakening him now that I've done this whole video because of the fact that he gets hate up and can become a tank. But how much of that is in theory? Because it feels like I might have to invest a lot of him into Reincarnation because he didn't necessarily get any extra survivability, even in the way that Elena and Zazan did. Like, he still doesn't have courage or re-raise for himself. He is still very much just a brawler, even though he has main job hate now. Like, I just don't see him surviving multiple hits very easily in a lot of parties the way that most anyone else who can generate hate can. So, like, I don't even know if modern Dwayne wants hate, oddly enough, even though it seems like the thing that he always needed. Does it work for him now? That will remain to be tested, and I probably will be testing all of these units in the near future, but I am going to be out of town for like the next week, and I'm not going to have much time to do this on the road, so you're definitely going to have to wait probably a week to get these kind of updates from me, but I am going to be looking into each of these characters and awakening all of them, so there goes my Viz Antlers. Anyways, back to the video. Okay, I have an extra layer of clothing that will hopefully see me through this. I'm not seeing anything super out of the ordinary for this VC. However, I remember this being large damage, and that is, in my understanding, a lot more than large damage, I think. So maybe this went up since it was released. But these stats are roughly what I expected. 8 defense is not staggering. not terribly impressive. 4 agility, though, is an interesting touch, but while I am excited for the red mage based stuff, which I have already explained in a video that went live, I want to say at midnight, even just a bit before the update. I know, I refreshed the app already, you bastards. Alright, so let's look at Freya via. Holy crap! 20 spirit, 10 AoE resistance, Spell Veil Blade gets the upgrade. Oh my gracious, I think I'm really in love with this one already. Like, wow, I think I just read exactly what I wanted to hear. I think I might have been a little bit more interested, potentially, if there had been, let's say, maybe an upgrade to a passive or a buff that would be used before Spell Veil Blade. Spell Veil Blade is a really interesting skill for Freya. We're going to talk about it here in a second, I'm sure. I think it's the job level 25. Yes, it is. Okay, so, Wind Killer, 25, 100% hit chance, 175 mod, but it gains you 20 defense and spirit stackable, up to 3 times I believe, although it's for 3 turns, so you can only really use this skill once per turn. Theoretically, that is the limit regardless, so it is just fully stackable. Unless you figure out a way to use it multiple times per turn, but there's also only 3 casts, so again, the stack limit 3 is pretty logically as high as that could possibly go. But this could give her in potential an additional 60 defense and spirit, but now it's also going to absorb 30% of the damage done, which I think is a pretty solid upgrade. I would have liked more casts, maybe a higher mod. Just getting that on one skill. I mean, it has decent range. It is probably one of her bigger bangers in terms of offensive skills, but being a tank, I was kind of hoping maybe that she would get something that she could use before getting in range. Something that would help her set up, maybe something on a passive. But here we are, and this is one of her better skills. It's not as big of a skill upgrade as I would like, especially for a unit that has been around for a while, and in retrospect, I'm not as excited about the 20 spirit as I was thinking. Just because I think that she's one of the better all-around tanks, and this really doesn't help her become a better all-around tank. It does lean her very hard into resisting magic, which is already where she was going. She's just better at being a specialist at that. I think that's still pretty good, though. I am still pretty excited for Freya's upgrade, and I probably will 140 her just to test her out. That's going to be a little difficult, though, because that is going to be on the same account as my Elena. And I definitely want to upgrade her. Slash resistance penetration 20 for self, dark resistance 10, and I've tempered my resolve. So I have the feeling that I've tempered my resolve might be getting the upgrade that JP has already seen. That would be a little weird, because then what would they give her for Dream Awakening? So we're probably getting that and something else. Let's see. So we don't really have the issue here that we had with Freya, in that this is a setup buff. It is one that she is going to use frequently. It now has 2 casts, which is a big benefit as opposed to the way it previously was. I recently did a video about building for guild versus guild. We were talking about the fact that many times in my experience, while Elena has historically been very powerful in guild versus guild, the guarantee that comes with her courage is really only something you can count on in one fight. If you are relying on courage and not her staggering evasion to keep her safe, or to keep her alive, or to give her that extra little bit that she needs, then you're not gonna like her as well in fight 2. Well, now she can also use her skill in fight 2. It gives accuracy 30 and critical evasion 30 while she is in that mode. We're gonna switch over and look at JP. Wait, hold up. She's already... Did she get a 140? Did JP get a 140 for her today? Did she also get her 140 today? Because it's as I thought. They had the critical evasion, they had the second cast, but she actually got increased accuracy. So her dream upgrade is actually smaller because she kind of got a JP exclusive buff when she came out. Okay, so, well, hold on now. I don't know if they have Freya. I guess they have Freya. She doesn't seem to have a 140. I don't think they actually have this unit. But like, they actually have the Dream Awakening stuff, but they don't have her Dream ability? I am so confused by that. That did not bring me answers. Elena, we already know. Seems to have been updated on JP. Do they have Dwayne? They do. But they don't have a Dream Awakening yet. 20 slash attack resistance penetration. Same thing we saw in Elena. 15 single target resistance. That's pretty good. Armor Crusher gets the upgrade. I see him use that a lot, so I think that's good. I haven't really seen Dwayne in a while. Kaio's gonna have to talk to me in the comments about like what is good about him and what we should be looking forward to in this. But Armor Crusher is the job level 25, so that's a well-aimed upgrade. It is now 100% hit chance, and oh, look at that. Good range on this. Increased chance of being targeted by 12. So, as long as I can remember, the big complaint about Duane has been Dwayne, however you fucking say his name, because I'm not sure it's actually been well defined yet. Anyways, this boy's biggest issue has been that the only way to get hate on him previously without doing other shenanigans like ribbons or stuff like that is by using Swift Shadow, and that only gives you 5. That's not particularly great. But this is like a Taunting Blade level of hate. Now on one of his better breaks, also guaranteed hit, 3 chances to use it. 22 AP means it's pretty easy to cast. He's not really going to be running out of it. He gets 3 casts of it as well. Wow, Dwayne is actually a dark tank now, which is amazing. This is what we've been asking for quite some time. He is actually a pretty powerful dark tank. Does this modernize him? I'm not a Dwayne player. He's one of the first units I pulled in this game, and I genuinely didn't like him or think he was good, which I was very wrong, because he ended up being one of the defining dark units in the early time that I was playing. But because of that, I just never got into him as a character. So again, someone else is going to have to tell me how much this actually fixes Dwayne's issues. But hey, it does look pretty good. So that brings us to the last character that we are reviewing today, and I do wanna make a statement about my previous review. The biggest part of it that I regret, the part that I think that I was the most incorrect about, that I want to bring up since I am linking to this video, is that I don't think Ravis is good. Her upgraded skill specifically, the one that gives her 60 evasion in addition to other stuff, thinking about that skill, I don't think she's going to cast it, because Yeah, and for the same reason that Cloud didn't cast like Mega Slash previously, only worse because she's a tank and she's really not going to separate from the rest of her group very effectively. But also, this has the issue of not being on a buff or a passive, it's on a skill, but it's also a setup that she desperately needs as a tank. I think that all of that combined means that it's not terribly impressive, but also I don't think that when I first saw that, I was really thinking about the fact that things like Udasime would end up being upgraded to be an increase of evasion of 60 themselves. I mean, when you think about the fact that it's really just adding a Udasime to that attack, which already was difficult for her to use to begin with, it's just really not impressive as her upgrade. So while I was really impressed by that the first time I saw it, definitely not impressed by it now. Wow. You know, getting a little bit of a feeling of copy pasta with the dream abilities here. Slash attack resistance penetration 20 for self, which we've seen in 3 out of 4 of these. All of the damage dealers. These have all been slash units, by the way, so that's, you know, limited opportunities to do things here. Single target resistance 10, fake death is the upgrade. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's kind of what I was hoping to see for him in a lot of ways. Although, I don't know, something that would make him more evasive or tanky might be good. Probably more evasive because there's plenty of tanky on Earth already, even though he does have the ability to generate hate. Okay. Fake Death is not the job level 25 skill. It is the one cast auto revive with CT up on re-raise. It had one cast previously, now it has 2. So for all the same reasons I was talking about Elena's Courage being upgraded, just in terms of number of casts, that's also pretty good here. Yes, we still have the CT up upon re-raise, but now we also have AP consumption down while re-raise is in effect. So in a lot of ways this becomes like Indomitability plus, I think, in that there's a huge AP consumption reduction while it's in effect. I think this also is reminiscent of the increase that comes from Sephiroth's Limit Break, and since this is one of the first skills that you're going to be using, you're really going to be wanting to use it. So that's pretty consistently going to make everything in Zazan's kit a lot more AP independent. The other thing I want to point out is that I think like right now it is one of his biggest ways of gaining hate. Taunting Blades, this sub job is still going to be important for him. But having a single cast of Immortal Spirit that potentially gives him 2 ways to resurrect himself, 2 stackable ways, which has always been interesting that he is a character that's gotten the ability to use Courage and re-raise. And often he would use them in the same match if he had the ability, although many times he would only use, you know, he is kind of my characteristic unit of being a little too long range for his own good in terms of mobility. Because I can really screw up the amount of buffs that he can cast before engaging the enemy, which means that you might only cast 1 buff, which means that you might want it to be Fake Death, and then in round 2 you're thinking Immortal Spirit, but now you can use Fake Death in both fights, and this opens you up to builds like having Leaping Slash, which gives you even more, like, get in their face ability. Also really like low profile on him, even though it is kind of anti-tank. But hey, again, tank is the sub job. You can make him less of a tank. You can make him the opposite of a tank. Ripper isn't particularly special, but I really do like these 2 skills. I hate being awake this early in the morning. And then we have Drain Cyclone in Viking. which is really one of his only ways of self-healing. So now you more likely have those two sub-jobs open to you instead of forcing yourself to rely on Paladin just to get that extra survivability kick in there. So, with that being said, oh my god, I'm sick. But, that's the update. I've got so many characters to awaken today. Oh man, that's at least 4, and then I'm going for Dario too, I think, so like, oh shit, that's 5 characters from today that I'm awakening. Oh, my Viz Antlers! They're going. But anyways, if you appreciate this review of previously unknown information, it almost feels like a JP video in that, you know, us global players very rarely get completely new things to talk about in this game, and I like it. Waking up this early, and I probably could have woken up earlier to do this. Oh man, I still have to edit the video after this. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. See you in the next one. I'm gonna post this as soon as I can. Hopefully it's up before 8. See you in the next one.